Hello and welcome to the Job Search Adventure channel. Today we are going to talk about 9 things to look out for in your own job search adventure. If you see any of these things, we say it's time to batten down the hatches, weigh anchor, and keep on searching. Number 1, extremely limited time off or no vacation time. Few, if any, vacation days or having to jump through crazy rings of fire to earn time off suggests a bad workplace environment. It shows the company does not care about their employees and work-life balance. Not being able to take time off can lead to employee burnout, lower productivity. It's also a bad sign of management or high workload, as they will work you so hard you won't have time to take any time off. They'll expect you to be there each and every day, and if you ask for time off, they say, "What do you mean? You can't have any time off. You have plenty of work to do." Number 2, when they don't want to pay in money. You might have heard these stories in the news where companies give gift certificates, like letting you wear jeans on a day or something like that. The key is they don't want to pay in money. They give you non-cash carrots on a stick kind of thing. Employees expect to be paid with money for their time worked. When companies offer gift certificates or non-cash gifts for time worked, then it should be clear as crystal that is a bad workplace. Companies know employees need money to live, otherwise they would not come to work to earn their pay. The same goes for bonus payments. Workers would expect something of real value, not something the company paid nothing for, like being able to wear blue jeans on a work day or working extra time to complete a big project. Number 3, when the company says the pay raise is coming for months or even years later, companies like to pay employees as low as possible to increase their profits. Why do you think you see the owner driving around in their fancy sports car? One way they do this is offer low starting pay and say they will review your pay later, but later never comes. When employees ask for the raise, they will stall for more time, saying they can't afford to pay, or something's come up and they just don't have the time, or they don't want to talk to you about paying you more money. Or they'll say, "Oh, business is bad, we can't pay you more money right now, we have trouble, we just can't pay you more money right now," even though owners are doing very well and driving fancy sports cars, wearing fancy clothes and all that stuff. And the owner brags about sending their kid to some expensive Ivy League college, for example. The longer they could stall you for more time, the more money they get to keep. Our suggestion is to steer clear of companies known to play this game. We'll get to finding out how later, so don't forget to watch until the very end. Number 4, read social media reviews before applying to any company you're searching for. Companies screen their employees, so employees should screen their employers. Why not? They do it to you, you should do it to them. Read social media reviews of companies, especially customer service review sites like Yelp, and see how the company does its business. Are they doing underhanded and shady business practices? If they're doing that to their customers, just think of how they would be treating their employees who actually work there. If the company is bad for business, just think how they would treat you. Also read about employee review sites like Glassdoor and see what employees have to really say about the place. Of course, there might be some bad apples there too, so you have to read lots of reviews to get a much better picture. But if lots of employees say how bad the place is, then probably it's all true. Also, check the National Labor Review Board website to see if the company has any bad history about employee lawsuits or labor activity that you might not see in regular news media. So if their company name comes up, if they're bad for labor, you might want to keep looking and avoid that place. If any such problems are found, we suggest weighing anchor and continuing your job search adventure. If you like hearing this stuff and want to see more, why not like and subscribe so you never miss another job search adventure video. Number 5, companies will lowball your skills and abilities to make you accept lower pay. Companies may suggest that you are not really worth the higher pay or salary, even when it was advertised. They may say they would hire you for a lower salary and offer you more money and see how it goes in the future. It's really the old bait and switch game, folks. They don't want to offer the salary. They just had this higher salary there to lure you in and hoping you would accept the lower pay during the interview. They may offer you a bonus, but again, your bonus might being able to wear jeans on Fridays, for example. So you want to make sure they're on the up and up. Of course, the bonus or higher pay never happens, and when the time comes, they'll say, oh, we don't have the money, we can't pay you right now. Or the boss will say, I can't talk about it right now, we'll talk about it next week. Next week they'll say, oh, we'll talk about it next time. Or companies like to say, oh, we only do reviews quarterly, or we only do reviews annually. Oh, we can't do it right now, we'll have to wait until next year. And of course, next year never comes. If any of these problems again, we suggest weighing anchor and continuing your job search adventure onto a better position. And number 6, companies will say, oh, working here is more about the money. This is really common in nonprofits where they want good people, but they don't want to pay them a lot of money. Oh, we're helping people. You should be more concerned about helping people instead of the pay. Oh, you have to help honor our mission, otherwise you shouldn't be working here. Even though the executives are high paid and driving around in fancy sports cars and collecting good money, they want their staff to accept lower pay. Bad companies will make you think, oh, money's not everything, and hopes you'll take less money. They may sell their fun social events. Oh, potluck Thursdays, contest Thursdays, or stuff like that. Or they might offer free food and drinks. Of course, the free food and drinks cost them a lot less than it does to pay their employees more, but they want you to feel happy. And of course, the free food and all that doesn't really pay your bills at home. Respectable companies know employees need real money to live on and should be willing to pay you for what you are worth, not saying, oh, you get to wear jeans on Thursday kind of thing. And number 7, bad employers will have impossible workload expectations. Bad companies may expect one person to do the work of a 5 or even 10 people. If they can get a sucker to accept the job and let them burn out after a few months, that is more money in their pockets. The key here is to know the kind of work you are applying for and to watch out for jobs with insane workloads. For example, you should know the position you're applying for and what kind of work that does. Take some time and read job specifications for that position and what other companies are asking employees to do for a similar position. If the company you're applying for is that and more, well, then you should be on the lookout. The interviewers are not the ones doing the work, so they'll be more than happy to say, oh, everybody who applied for this job is so happy and they loved working here so much, and so-and-so got promoted, even though they are really fired because they couldn't keep up with the work. Oh, the person was so good, we promoted them, but you never meet that person. Of course, the employers are not doing the work, so they'll be happy to say the position, and everyone was happy to stay until midnight to finish a big project. Oh, people just love working here overtime and not being paid more money. Of course, they'll say all the employers were able to meet or beat the crazy workload expectations. Oh, Sally did so much work, she loved working here. But do you want to be sucker Sally and be breaking your back for doing 80 hours of work for 40 hours of pay, if they're even willing to pay overtime in cash? And you have to be careful to not be the next chump to fall into that meat grinder. Number 8, rude or unprofessional interview behavior. If the interviewer is mean and rude during the interview, you can only imagine what it would be like to work there all the time. Watch out for mean or rude interviewers with unprofessional behavior, especially where you are cut off in conversation or your skills are ridiculed. Oh, for a good example is, oh, we don't really need that here, even though they really do. Oh, but we don't really want to pay for your skills, even though they do want your skills. So would you be willing to accept less money? Because that's not what we really need, even though they really do. So they're lying to you. And they might be mean-spirited. And what they're really doing, folks, is testing to see if you have low self-esteem. And if you can be bullied around if you are hired, or stupid enough to accept the job. These interviewers are more common in low-skilled jobs, so they want someone to easily push around and bully once they are hired. And for example, oh, what are you doing? You can't leave yet. You got to finish the job. You can't leave yet. The work's not done, even though you already worked 80 hours or whatever. They still won't want to pay time. They'll say, oh, you got to stay and finish the job, even though they're not going to pay. If the company bullies employees like this and pay them less money over time, that's just more money they get to keep in their pockets. So we say avoid companies like this, and if they're rude to you during the interview, one suggestion is to say forget it and walk out the door. Last and certainly not least is number 9, high turnover rates and the always hiring company. If you, back in the days, you might have seen the newspapers or even on the job posting websites like Monster and Indeed, whatever, you'll see these companies advertising all the time. They're constantly going through staff because people won't stay there, and they're just hiring constantly. And that shows what the company would really be like if you were to work there. They might be pushing around so much that their people are coming and going constantly. So if you see the same position always being hired or advertised, beware, be very cautious if you actually get called into an interview there. Check for news items where they might hire a bunch of people to finish a big project and then lay them all off when the work is done. This shows the company is unable or unwilling to keep a stable workforce to meet the company workflow, because it's cheaper to do a big batch of production and then fire the people and then let the inventory sell off and then repeat the process when their inventory is low, and they hire more people and simply keep repeating the process. The company could also be failing and unable to keep employees steadily employed. So if you accept such a job, keep looking and be ready to jump ship when a better position comes along on your own job search adventure. Well, that's all for today. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the question and comments box below and let us know what you think in your own job search adventure. Your comments might also help other people, and we would be, of course, willing to help answer your questions so you and other people can also learn from your questions and comments. See you next time in the job search adventure.